welcome to another episode of the Threefold Collective podcast. My name is Jay Cruz.
And I'm Julie Cruz.
And since we had so much fun last time doing the love language game, we thought we would do that again this week.
Yes, so hopefully the question is not a crazy one. I guess we will find out.
It wasn't a crazy one. It was
good.
Appropriate for the moment. So
You're gonna make me do it again?
No.
Oh, good.
You get to cut, I'll pull, and you get to answer first this time.
Okay, cut.
And I will answer second. Okay.
Is that what you do?
Yeah, like that. There you go. So what we have here again is a deck of cards that has couples questions on them, relational questions.
Yeah.
And we're going to pick one at random. So Julie just cut the deck and she's going to hold it now and fan them out so I can't see what the subject is.
Okay.
And I will pick one.
Last time I was like, oh, we're just going to go for it. So let's see. Maybe it'll be lighthearted. Please.
I'm going to cut from.
Oh, sorry.
Pull it from the middle.
Goodness.
You're holding them so tight.
Okay,
like
there
you
we
don't
go.
want to let go.
Okay, sorry.
Okay. Wow, this is like not even fun to me. It might be fun to you. Would you ever have a home birth?
No.
That's just your answer? Your answer is just no?
That's a negative for me.
Why?
Okay, first of all, for our situation, I had C-sections, which could not be performed in a home. Second of all, I would be too scared that something bad was going to happen and that I wouldn't be close enough to a hospital because we've had family members who've had similar situations and I would be too scared to not be close enough to a hospital. And third of all, drugs.
What about drugs? You just said drugs. That's way too generic.
I don't want to have any more kids, but I need some painkillers if I'm going to be having children. Not home births. I mean, people really love them, but it's not for me.
Well, what did we do when we went through the whole process? Like, what did we do when we were even thinking about having kids? Like, because you were finding a midwife and all these different things. Like, I don't know what the process is, honestly. I just know that I got a go bag set up and didn't really.
Well, yeah, for us, because when I was pregnant with Tristan, we were new, didn't have any clue what we were doing. And I had interviewed, I guess, different doctors and midwives. And I seemed at the time to like a midwife. But the thing is, for me anyway, once you are in the hospital, it's really up to whoever was on call for that night. And so I had a midwife, but also still had a doctor and then ended up with a C-section. So needed a doctor for all the others. So I really think, it depends on what midwives, I guess, have I don't know the correct terms and stuff, but midwife, I'm like, don't get mad at me.
Yeah.
But midwives, I think, tend to err on the more natural side of birthing and that kind of stuff. And I thought that sounded kind of cool before I knew what labor was like.
Labor, okay, well, not labor, but I'll say this much. The first 8 months of pregnancy, when you were pregnant, like, it was fun. Like, the baby's kicking. I felt the
fun
move.
for you.
Well, understand what I'm saying. Like, it was more pleasant in general.
Mm-hmm.
Once it got down to, I think this happens to a lot of women, but when it gets down to like the last month, it was like, okay, you turn into somebody completely different. And I was like,
yeah, it's really hard to be pregnant. First of all, the last month is even harder. Like, get out is what. And yeah, it's true.
In the first pregnancy we were in Georgia, so it was just hot and it was muggy and it was humid and you were sweating all the time.
Yeah, but you know what I have to say? None of our we have 4 kids, so 3 of the 3 pregnancies, because the last 2 were twins. Let me clarify. None of them were born after 36 weeks.
So all premature.
Yes. So you're saying really it was like the last 2 months because I didn't even get past 36 weeks. But even then I'm like, I don't know. Some girls go past their due date. Could you imagine?
So, since we're on the subject, why, so we have 4 kids.
Yeah.
We were done at 2.
Yeah.
In theory, we were done, but we didn't do anything to not be done yet.
Right. Nothing permanent anyway.
What do you think, like with each progressing one, like how we became better parents or how we parented? Everyone has that first kid where they have the little, the little thing they inset inside of a cart when you go to like Target, and you set the thing in, and then you have like these wipes so that anything they touch, they wipe. Yeah. How do you feel the progress or the progression went from Tristan, who was our first, who's 14 right now, and then Riley, who's 12, and the twins, who are 9? Like, what was the process like in just us becoming lax?
Well, here is the thing. I'm so glad that we did not have twins first, that we had them last, because I remember with Tristan, we never wanted him to cry. And so we would be like, oh my gosh, walking up and down the stairs, you would be like doing lunges and squats trying to get him to go to sleep. And it was like, nope, you can't, everything is watched and everything is crazy. By the time we had the twins, I don't even think we had 2 real cribs. It was like a pack and play. And
no, we did.
We did.
We had 2 full-on cribs with them. Remember, because we had Kinsley today is like a gymnast, and we should have known this a long time ago because we had their cribs in a corner, and then there was like the little.
No, they were pack and plays.
No, they were cribs.
Kinsley got out of the pack and play.
Were they?
Yes.
Okay, maybe I remember their childhood differently, but
she would. But they're not going to be in it that long.
No, remember, because they were off the ground. She would climb off of one and get into Corbin's because we were trying to figure out how in the world that happened. And so she would put one leg up on the side of the crib.
Like really early, like right after she started walking.
7-8 months. And she would climb over just the little tiny corner that connected them and get into his crib, and then they would sleep together because she would,
They always been close. So fun fact, some of you guys might not know about me is that I'm a twin also myself. And we're almost 38, but not quite yet. And at 36, we decided to take a twin test because my little sister said, "Are you sure you're not identical?" Well, our whole life, my mom told me we were fraternal. So I just believed it. Even if our baby pictures, you really couldn't tell the difference between us. So anyway, at 36, we took the test and found out we were identical. And then we also have twins ourselves, which is pretty rare, I would say, for you to be a twin and have twins. Mm-hmm. I love having twins. What do you think?
I like all of our kids, and you've already, I don't know whether I've discussed this with people at large, but if money was an issue and if pregnancies weren't so hard on you, I would have continued to have kids for like just forever and to use.
Yeah, you're a great dad.
Have them.
I think this is probably a whole nother podcast, but pretty blessed with you as a dad. Like you have been, you guys, I didn't change any of our kids' diapers for like their first week of life. Any of our kids, including the twins. He got all that. 2
weeks, at least 2 weeks.
It was a lot of time.
You couldn't even move. So regardless of whether or not you could or not, like I had no choice. So I had to dad up, father up, whatever you want to call it. And I had to do it. So she has no experience cleaning up. What's it called? Meconium?
Yep.
0.
I don't have any idea.
Experience with that, but I do. And to just give you a hint of what it's like just black tar that sticks to everything. And you think that like it will wipe easy, but literally, that stuff that the kids come home with, like they make that like sticky, it's not gack, but it's the sticky stuff that it rolls and part of it like sticks to, that's what it is, but it's black. And it doesn't, I don't remember it smelling. And I never
never once complained about it either. No. I never heard you complain about, he's always been like the one, like that's what makes me want to have more kids. Not now, but like.
Just that?
Well, no, I mean, you were always a hands-on dad. Like you're not the kind of dad who I had to beg to ask for help. You were always there to help, which is amazing.
Thanks.
Yeah, you're a great dad.
Well, it takes somebody great to want to do it for. So.
Oh, thanks, babe.
Yeah, I'm not here trying to just pet your ego, but it's true.
Yeah, we could go into all the details of things you've had to help me with through pregnancies, and after recoveries.
Yeah. Actually, I think it was with Riley. Julie had a C-section, and she had some new staples that they used that were
No, it was with Tristan.
Was it? Okay, so Tristan had these, not Tristan, but Julie had these new technology dissolvable stitches.
Are we going to go there?
That did not work for Julie. And so she was taking a shower one day, and she noticed that her wound just was not closing.
Oh, it's bad news, you guys.
So that's not the problem. The problem was, that's the problem for her. The problem was for me is that the only way to heal something like that is from the inside out. And so I had to pack the wound. So if you guys know me, I get queasy to the sight of blood.
It's bad.
Mostly mine. And love, I think that was not my height of love, but for me to get
for better and worse.
Yeah, that is the for better for worse.
Yeah.
Where I had to actually take it was a cotton swab Q-tip, and I had to push it inside of there until it stopped. And then every time it was done, I had to pull the old one out, and it was not the prettiest sight.
You guys, I labored with Tristan for 34 hours.
At least.
And then had a C-section. Okay? Do not recommend that. Because your body has already gone through all of labor, and then now you have to recover from a C-section. And then on top of it, they didn't tell me they were using this new dissolvable staple, which I happened to be allergic to. It was...
That we found out
I honestly believe that is the most amount of pain I have ever been in my life.
No.
The recovery.
No.
You don't think so?
Your knee was worse.
No.
Really?
No.
You remember it that bad?
Oh my gosh. It was so bad.
See, with most women that I come in contact with, they forget what pregnancy felt like because they're like, ooh, I just want to have another baby and go through all of it again. But you're like, no,
Well, I mean, I obviously did forget because we had Riley. They're only 16 months apart, so.
But it didn't happen because you forgot. It just happened because we weren't preventing.
Right. But yes. So anyway, the whole moral of this story is you have gone above and beyond the call of duty for a husband or a new dad.
I guess. I don't know. I think that commitment to marriage is committing to all of it. All of it. Yes, you are committing to loving you and just the good times, but whatever rolls along. We talked about just being in debt, and me not knowing about it. And even though I felt betrayed and it felt like it was an act against the family, it was well, it's not just that. You were scared to tell me, and it's probably scared of me. Because that's not something you really want to tell your spouse. I wouldn't.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, guess what? By the way.
I know.
And everything about it, you just had to be willing to fight for them and to work. Whatever it is, for better, for worse, sicker or poorer. No, wait, that's not how it goes. Richer or poor.
Yeah.
Health and sickness. Yeah, it's been almost.
There has been a lot of things though. We've gone through. Yeah, I've had a lot of surgeries, C-sections, and knee surgeries and things, and so you've had to take care of me physically, where I literally couldn't take care of myself, and you've had to step up. So it's a big deal.
The answer is the same for me for this.
Going back to the original question.
Yeah, I just wouldn't, because that requires them to come to us, and I want all the things available, all the options available, and not that there's a lot of people that have successful births at home, not just births at home, but births at home and underwater and all these other things.
And that's great for them. I'm told, if you want to have a home birth, I'm going to be sweet.
Yeah.
But for me,
yeah,
that was not something I ever wanted to do.
Maybe the first one, was a thought, but not for very long.
And you don't know what it would be like.
Yeah, not for very long. When you don't know what it's like for you. But once we found out that for you, your pregnancies were really hard.
Right.
It's just, it wouldn't be smart to have done it because it would have been dangerous. So,
and I'm not one of those kind of girls who's like very adamant about no drugs during labor or like didn't want to have an epidural or anything like that. That wasn't like my passion. I think everyone, that's a broad statement. I think for me, I thought, yeah, I could have a natural birth. I could have a midwife. And I, in my head, I thought, of course I can do that. But you don't know what kind of pain you're going to be in before you are.
Yeah. So I would also like we were talking about before, I would have kids forever. Like,
yeah.
If money
would you still have kids now? Like with our kids at ages 14, 12 and 9, would you start over?
You know me, I love babies.
You really do love babies, and you're great with them.
Yeah, and like I said, if I didn't have to do anything else, if that was the only thing I had to do, and money wasn't an issue, and we had this, not even if we had money wasn't an issue.
Because right now, money is not an issue. The only thing that's stopping us is my tubes are tied. So you're saying that you would want to start over now?
What I'm saying, and if pregnancies weren't hard on you, like it's almost to the point where I would be like very scared if you were pregnant because. It's just scary health-wise. There was too many complications with each one. All of them were premature, actually progressively premature. So,
well, yeah, because then twins.
Yeah, so I don't think that it would be smart. It just wouldn't be. It'd be rolling the dice, especially I don't know what the age limit is, but where
because I'm considered like geriatric in pregnancy at my age. For real, is that the right word? Isn't geriatric like old?
Sure. I don't.
That's what they consider it. I'm 37 and they would say you're too old.
I don't think so. I think it just has to do more with just the way that you're built. There's women out there my sister just had 43.
Oh yeah. Totally.
40. Sorry. I'm not going to say which one, but sorry. I didn't mean to put your age out there, but yeah, age doesn't matter. It just matters on whether your body can handle it or not.
Yeah, so the short answer would be no.
No. I just wouldn't have a home birth. There's unless I had a full-on, hospital at my house.
I mean.
If I lived at the hospital, yeah, sure. Yeah. I would have home birth. So maybe pull another one?
Yeah, pull another one. You want me to pull this time?
Okay, we're going to reach back into the deck because that was a shorter.
I mean, we did still elaborate on a lot of things in our life.
Sure. Okay.
Oh, this is how I should have done it. You're fanning the cards well. Sorry. Okay, please let it not be a hard one. Okay. How have you changed since we were first together? How have you changed since we were first together?
From my perspective? Or are you supposed to answer that for me?
That's a pretty broad statement.
How have I changed?
How have you changed since we were first together?
I will say at one point I was really super prideful and I wouldn't let you. I always had to win things. I always had to be right. I always had to not look dumb to you, like just in general. And like I got to a point where we're a team. And so if I was trying to win an argument, that means I made you the loser of the argument. And I realized I don't want to be married to someone I make feel bad and feel like they lose all the time.
Yeah.
And that they don't have a say or a voice in our marriage. So I think laying my pride down a ton has where I've changed the most. And then what I learned also is, man, apologize as fast as you can. Like, if you can say sorry and know that you're sorry, but not be able to like get through the things yet, but like, hey, I don't know how to fully navigate this whole thing and make you understand that I'm fully sorry right now, but like, hey, I'm sorry and I want to work through this, and just apologizing quickly. Like I would, how long would I go? I would go like 2 days, where it wasn't like I was holding it against you, but I needed to process like that whole, like anything, whenever something happened between us, I had to process it. I had to navigate my emotions and stuff. But now it's like, I go back to mostly try to do facts and knowing, okay, she loves me, I love her. most likely this is a hallmark miscommunication. So I just figure out those things. But yeah, my pride for sure. Like I have no more left.
Oh gosh. I think honestly that comes from us. We married really young. So I was 21 and you were 22 when we got married. And I think a lot of that just like when we were first married, I remember specifically that your mom said, you guys are so young. You're getting married so young. And to me, I was like, what? Like, why is she even saying that? Like, I didn't feel young at the time, but now being married 16 years, I feel like, oh yeah, we were really young. And so I think a lot of that changing kind of happens, like we've had to change a lot together because we're growing up, and we also had to change a lot individually because naturally that's what happens as you're growing. And so maturity wise, it is the same thing. You know, I think you've matured a lot.
Oh, thanks. Hopefully.
Yeah. I mean, right. It's been a long time.
Yeah. At the same time, I'm exactly the same though. Like at the same time, I enjoy all the same exact things, but in terms of my like emotional stability and my thought process and all those kind of things, yeah, it changed a ton.
Yeah.
But still like the same things. Wait, what about you?
Me? Mm-hmm. How have you changed since we were first together? That's so hard. I feel like we should be answering this for each other because I'm like,
Well, you should know because I feel like you should have done some.
Yeah, I've totally worked on myself. I have worked on a lot of things. And I think when we were first together, when we were in the internship and we were just starting our relationship, I feel like I was very opinionated and hard-headed about a lot of things. And I thought I actually was like, I would say more confident, I guess. Like I just said things and I
wouldn't use the word confidence for someone that just says things.
Yeah. I don't know. I think I was like, I thought I was cool. Like, I don't know. I feel like back then I don't know how to explain it.
You're not saying anything yet.
Oh my gosh. I just remember being confident. Like when we met and I didn't want you to mess with my heart or like, you know, like I was confident in what I believed. And so I said things. I could communicate. And then there was a period in there where, you know, you were so good with your words that I kind of shrunk back and didn't talk as much because I felt like I couldn't get what I wanted out. And so that made me kind of retreat. And
hold on. When she says I was good with my words, what she means was I was really manipulative with what I said. So that has changed a lot, tons, actually.
Yeah.
I don't do that.
Not at all anymore. Mm-hmm. I don't. And so I think that has been a big thing that I've had to learn because for a lot of years there, I wasn't saying anything and that was worse for our marriage. Mm-hmm. And so I felt like I couldn't say anything because I could never win. Not that it was about winning, but like I could never get what I wanted out. And so for a lot of the years there, I stopped talking.
Yeah.
And so I've had to learn how to come back from that. And I think like I never saw myself back then as like an introverted person, but I do feel like I am like that now, which is kind of funny. And maybe it comes with just like wanting to think more about things. I'm not sure why, it's weird how your personality can change so much through the years. You don't think so?
I don't think your personality's changed very much.
Oh, so I've always been kind of introverted?
No, I think that you were in physically like leadership roles, like you were physically placed in those roles and you had to assume a role and position. Mm-hmm. So you are that same, but it's just different. It's the same, but different. Mm-hmm. If that makes any sense.
Well, if I feel like I'm placed in a position of leadership, I do rise to that. Mm-hmm. If I'm in a group and I don't know anyone, I fall back.
Okay. So I could tell you how you've changed in what you just said is that before you always had to try and prove yourself as a leader.
Yeah.
And today you just act as a leader.
That's true. Like overcompensate.
Yeah. Oh, I have to, like, I know I'm a leader, but I have to show people that I am, and I have to prove to them that I am. That's how you used to be.
Yeah.
And now you're like, hey, if someone else is a leader, that's fine. But if I know that there's a place where my leadership is needed, then I'm going to do it.
Yeah. That's good. Fair.
Yeah. I'll say another thing. I say in our marriage, you have been slowly more attentive to the things that I say are important to me.
Yeah.
It's taken time, but yeah, that's getting a lot better. And so, not the funny thing, but the thing, going back to me being manipulative, the thing that I changed was I have less and less to hide. The less you have to hide, the less you have to manipulate a conversation.
Yeah.
The more you have to hide, the more you manipulate it so that either it doesn't go down the path you don't want it to go down, or you avoid just the truths of what's going on.
Because you're too scared it's going to come out, so you have to try and talk your way out.
Mm-hmm. You have to talk your way out of something that might not even be there. Mm-hmm. It's just to be trying to stop a presumption that you might have about me. Yeah.
I don't feel like that anymore.
No.
It's taken a lot of years for us to get to this place. And it's crazy to think about is, okay, we've been married for 16 years and have grown tons in that amount of time. But like thinking about the next 16 years, it's like we're going to think we didn't even know anything now. That's crazy to think about sometimes.
Well, that's good. I think if you think two things, if you think that you know everything about the other person, well, good luck. You're going to be in for a surprise at some point. But then also being able to be wise enough to say, well, in the future, I'm going to think that today I don't know anything. That's really wise.
Yeah.
So, you get wiser as you've gotten wiser.
Oh, thanks. You too, babe.
Well, that's actually all of our time for today.
That's fun.
It's fun. It was quick.
Yeah.
We didn't get into anything too
deep.
Well, yeah.
I mean, technically you did, because you were telling them all about my backed wounds.
Oh, gosh. Well, thank you guys for joining us. We will see you guys in the next episode of the Threefold Collective.
Bye.
See ya.